cried because he was forsaken of the blessing.
Still
and that's what it is, man. Like, at the end of the day, you Edomites out there, you shouldn't be walking around with a stone face, homeless on the street, all bummy. Okay, looking all crazy, bugging out. You shouldn't be doing it, man. I mean, here it is. You got all of your different corporations in the midst. You got your coffee shop around here. Okay, you got all your clothes shops that are open. All right. You got a decent, nice shop as you're supposed to. So what's the frown for? What's all of that for? You should be living it up, man. Go on, bro. Any cracker that ain't living it up, man, they just a two-time goddamn loser. That's all they are. Read that.
Malachi chapter 1 verse 1. Word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord.
Yeah.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? It's not Esau, Jacob's brother.
Right, was not Esau, Jacob's brother. Go on.
Saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau.
Right.
I laid his mountains and his heritage waste, dragons of the wilderness.
Right.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build in desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down.
Right, the Lord said they shall build, but I will throw down. But the key point I want to make is that they are the border of wickedness, as we've just read before. Alright, and this is the only race on the planet that was not given the ability to repent. Okay? So get me that in Hebrews the 12th chapter.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and a people against whom the Lord have indignation forever.
Right, so the so-called white people, they're pretty much here on the earth, and I say so-called, which they're the Edomites. They're people of the Lord's indignation forever. Okay? So, you know, these Edomites that could come up here and say, oh, fuck you, mate, and all this nonsense. Like I said, whatever they got to say about us or towards us, it doesn't make a difference, man. Really doesn't make a difference, you know what I mean? Doesn't really make a difference at all. Go on, bro. What they think or what they feel, all right? The Lord ain't dealing with your feelings. Go on.
It's the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person.
Any fornicator or profane person. The word profane means out to be outside the temple. So he was outside the temple of the Most High. Go on.
As Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Right, for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Because he sold his birthright for some lentils with some meat in it. Go on.
For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
Yeah, he was rejected, man.
For he found no place of repentance.
Right, so he might as well just eat that sandwich and call it a day. Live it up, as you got it going on right now. Because if you don't live it up, then you just be a two-time loser. You're lost in your own kingdom, and you're going to lose in our kingdom. Okay? So that's just really the bottom line, man. The bottom line is this, man, fuck all of these people out here, man. Fuck what they feel, fuck what they think, and fuck what they got to say. It's what they got to say holds no weight to me, man. And it shouldn't hold no weight to you brothers in the faith. Alright, and if anybody got something bad to say, they can say it, because all they're going to do is further solidify the point that we're the prophets. Alright? So everything works in our favor. So read what you got.
Verse 17. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
Yeah, so we're going to drop that. Go back to what we was reading before.
Oh, that's like Lamentations.
No, not that one. He's going into something before that. Right. Matthew 22:9. Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be on the highways and the byways so that we can bring this word out.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 9.
Yeah.
Go therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage.
Right, and as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage. And the many that it's talking about is the elect. It's not every Jake that's going to get this. The average Jake out here, they're just destined to be destroyed. Because they got their mind and their energy is more pretty much in the world. They fear what the world tells them to do. Okay, Salaki, they fear what the world has to say to them. They don't fear Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua because they're not supposed to. Go on.
So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found,
Yep.
both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests.
Right, and the wedding was furnished with gifts. So we're joined into the Lord's wedding. You have brothers that are reasonable-minded brothers, and you got brothers that are not so reasonable. And that's why they out in the midst, they back in the world again. Or they doing their own thing, thinking that they're in the truth, but they're really in the world. Okay, go on.
And when the king came to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he saith unto him, Friend, how comest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness.
Right, cast him to outer darkness, meaning like him as a heathen now. And that's what I'm saying, man. You know, you got these decrepit-minded individuals, Edomites out here, and they in their own world, man. Even if you go to America, like I was even watching one of your videos, brother, and some guy was talking about how he was homeless for a certain amount of years. Like, what the fuck you doing, man? All you gotta do is change your accent, put a fucking suit and tie on, and get going, man.
Pull up your bootstraps.
Right. Yeah, so, and then at the same time, they protesting along with Jake and all of this nonsense, man. Dumbasses, man. Go on, bro. You gotta be a dumbass Edomite to protest with Jake about their problems, man. Their problems ain't got nothing to do with you, man. Okay, go on.
Verse 14, For many are called, but few are chosen.
Right, many are called and few are chosen. Now, oh yeah, that's what I wanted you to get. Give me Matthew 13, where it speaks about many, they endure for a while.
Ian, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. Then Yahushua sent multitude away.
It's in
I think is it 19?
yes.
Yeah. Is it when? Alright. I'll start from
18.
yeah. Matthew chapter 13, verse 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not,
Yep.
then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside.
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 20. But he that received the seed into stony
That's
places,
it right.
the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it.
Right, and with joy receiveth it. Because you got a lot of, you have certain brothers that came in the truth and they were excited on what they've heard about what was within the covenant and how we're going to, conquer the nations and receive a kingdom and all of that stuff. And we found out that we're Israelites and etc. So you get excited when you hear this, but then what?
Yet hath he not root in himself.
But have ye not root in himself? Okay, because he didn't have the right mentality. And that's the key thing in this truth. You have to have the right mentality. If your mind is all over the fucking place, if you ain't stable in your head, then you're going to fall out of there. Like many of guys have done. Many of guys have fell out because they didn't simply have the right mentality. Go on.
But dureth for a while.
But dureth for a while. And some of these guys, they have, you have some of these guys that have this mentality where they want the Lord to come in their time. The Lord is going to come when he comes. He's going to fulfill his words. Once he fulfills his words, then he's going to come. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it's going down. The Lord has his way. He ain't going by your way, man. He's going by his way. Read that.
For when tribulation and persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended.
Exactly. So, this brother, he may get into trouble, or he might get arrested or what have you, or he might, get rebuked by certain men, and then he gets offended, and then he falls out of there, man. Or he comes under some judgment, and then he can't take the judgment, so then he winds up pretty much storming out, acting like a little woman, like a woman, man. All right, go on.
He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Right, that's the Daniel 7 all the way and out. Because Nate heard the word, but then later on, when the year 2000 came, the Lord didn't make his appearance. And that's even in the scriptures as well. That's also in Luke 17, where it says that there shall come a time and a day that we shall seek the Lord and shall not find him. So that was already fulfilled. But you had a lot of guys that fell right back into the world and then came back on the scene like they never left and sold out.
Can I make a point on?
Go on, brother.
Apostle Tahar Ramla, he put it in one of his videos, when he was back at One West, he seen what he saw with his own eyes.
Yeah.
When there was when they had the school set up, someone come in the school, some kind of what they call them, they got names for them, and open up a briefcase, and he said certain man's eyes, when they saw their eyes pop out their head when they saw what was in the briefcase.
Yeah.
Which you know where I'm coming from with that.
Yeah.
So they left the truth, man. They took that, that purse, man, and
Judas.
That Judas purse. So that's another way where Satan can get you, man.
That's it. That's it. Because see, like the saying goes, you could buy a nigga cheap. All you gotta do is show him what is it. You could even just show him 200,000. He would go crazy over that, lose his mount over that. And 200,000 ain't really shit nowadays, man. You could buy one house and blow that money altogether.
Wow.
Or you could even buy one car and blow that money altogether. Okay? But you had a lot of guys, man. You had certain guys back in the past that fell out because of what? Read that.
Verse 22, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches.
Right, and the deceitfulness of riches. So they let that money get the best of them.
Choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
And becometh unfruitful. That's why Nathaniel 7 and all these different groups, they're unfruitful, man. And the reason why they're unfruitful because they're not bringing out the word, man. I mean, the camps are growing. I mean, they have some, they have a good, standing camp, but it's still not fruitful because they're not producing what is it? The righteousness that's of this word the right way. They're not out there teaching the word as you're supposed to. Okay, go on.
But he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some of 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Yeah, that's Great Millstone as a whole, because when you look at the brothers in Great Millstone, it only started with a few men. And now you have a whole heap of brothers around the world that's come under this doctrine. Alright? But the point of the matter in this truth, you gotta be, grounded in. You gotta be rooted and built up. Hit me that in I believe that's in Galatians 6, I believe it is. Rooted and build it up. You're going.
2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 19. Nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standeth sure.
Right. Nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standeth sure. Go on.
Having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his.
Right. Knowing. Read that again.
The Lord knoweth them that are his.
Yeah.
And let everyone that nameth the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquity.
Exactly. So you gotta depart from your evil ways, man. And that's really when you first come into the truth. When you first come into the truth, all of the madness that you did in the world or the mentality that you had in the world, you gotta put that shit away. Because all you're gonna do is bring that niggardism into the truth. Like a lot of guys have done and fell out. Alright? So we don't.
But in a great house, there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor.
Right, some to honor and some to dishonor. You got guys that show honorable works, and you have guys that show dishonorable works. They're not bringing forth the right fruit. Matter of fact, speaking of bringing forth the right fruit, get back to the 7th chapter. It speaks about a tree is known by its fruits. Go on. You're going.
So it says, if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified, that meet the master's use, and prepared unto every good work.
Right, so what are the deeds? I think it explains it more.
Flee also youthful lusts,
Yeah.
but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart.
Right, so you got tucking that lust within you, because we all got it. We all got it within us, but you can't let it get the best of you. All right, it could be something to, getting some more money. You know what I mean, on a financial level, or it could be, you lusting after a woman you want, or anything. You got to put that away. But if you burning, like the scripture says, then you go get you a woman. But if the Lord has it so that you can't get a woman, then you just got to just leave that, put that to the side, and do away with that, and focus on doing this. You know what I mean? And that's really the deal. Because this comes first before anything. Your lust and what you feel and what you have to think and what you perceive to be, it doesn't matter. What matters is this, the word. Go on.
It says, but foolish and unlearned questions avoid, knowing that they do gender strifes. And the servant of the Lord must not strive.
Right, the soul of the Lord must not strive, meaning to fight. Go on.
But be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient, in meekness, instructing those that impose themselves.
Right, so look up the word apt. In the blue letter. Because I've looked it up before, but we got to bring this out again, so we can bring home the point. Because, like I was going into earlier before, in this truth, we have to behave ourselves in like manner of the men of the ancient. Okay, the prophets of old. What was their mentality like when they were on the scene? Were they acting like wild animals? No. They showed a level of discretion and discipline. Okay, they knew the times.
Can you separate one of them? Just separate.
They were aware and conscious concerning what is it? Obviously,
just pull it. I haven't used it yet.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. Because it's sticking.
Just pull one of them. Separate it. Yeah. All right. Hold it. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So which one before? Oh yeah, you're looking up that word. Salak. You got a precept? Yeah, go on.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 and 16. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
You go on.
Ye shall know them by their fruits.
Exactly, you shall know them by their fruits. So this goes back to the point on how you have these camps out there. They're producing, but they're not producing the right fruit. Okay, go on.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit.
Right, and the IUIC, and I have to name these camps just to bring home the point. They're not bringing forth good fruit, so it's a bad tree. There's a lot of trees out there, and they're producing their kind of fruit. Go on.
But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Right, go on.
And a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
Right, and a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Exactly. So it works. That's how it is. There's some more in that.
Every tree that bringeth forth not fruit good, it is hewn down.
Right, it's cutting down.
And cast into the fire.
Meaning they're gonna be nuclearized. That's a new one. I might have made that word up, but that's just what Jake do. Jake makes shit up, But anyway, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna be destroyed on this side. Why? Because they brought forth corrupt fruit. Any tree that bringeth forth corrupt fruit is what cutting down. Okay, taken out, man. So all of these different camps that are not producing concerning the truth in the way that we're supposed to, they're gonna be hewn down and they're gonna be cut off, and they're gonna be reminded of what they've done when the kingdom is set up, pursuant to the book of Daniel's, the 12th chapter. Go on.
Not everyone that, verse 20, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them.
Yeah.
Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven.
You're going.
But he that doeth the will of my Father,
But he
which is
that
in
doeth
heaven.
the will of my Father which is in heaven. That's the guy that's going to get into the kingdom. He knows the name, he's calling on the name, and because he's done the work, he's going to get into the kingdom. Okay? So go back to that word now.
The word apt in blue letter means apt and skillful in teaching.
Right, so you got to be skillful in teaching. And that's why I always tell brothers, you got to stay in the scriptures, man. Because see, when a guy come up and you hit him with the scriptures, you can hurt him more effectively with the scriptures rather than you being expressive all the time. You know what I mean? Because your words really don't count or doesn't have too much power. But when you put them scriptures together, now you're really doing something. Matter of fact, give me that in Hebrews the 4th chapter, man. It says the word of the Lord is as a two-edged sword, piercing even to the asunders, dividing thereof, something like that.
Hebrews 4,
Read that again.
4:12.
This is all about the word, man. Everything that we're doing is all based on the word. So when we're talking and we're speaking out things that are not concerning the word, now we start talking nonsense.
4:12.
Yeah, Hebrews 4:12. Now we start talking nonsense. And then while the camera's recording, now you look foolish now.
Second
You understand?
Timothy chapter 2 verse 15. Study to show thyself approved.
And that's another thing. And you gotta also study. This is not a thing where you read a couple of verses and precepts and you just step out of it. No, you gotta put your ears in, study as much as you can study, and then go out there and then teach. So let's read that now.
Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12, for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword,
Right, it's sharper than any two-edged sword. Go on.
and piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit,
Exactly.
and of the joints and marrow,
Yep.
and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart.
Yeah, because if you know how to swing this spiritual sword, you can hurt somebody's feelings real bad, and they'll go crazy and bug out. And that's why on this one Edomite came towards those brothers, and I believe it was Texas, with a gun, because he got hurt because how they used the scriptures against him.
Chicago.
Huh?
Chicago.
Right, the Chicago brothers. So there you go. You know what I mean? You do more damage to somebody psychologically by using the spiritual sword, which is his word.
Colossians chapter 4 verse 6. We start from
Oh
verse
no, it was
5.
Dallas. Salaka, it was Dallas. Dallas camps. Dallas camps. Salaka.
It says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
Exactly. And that's another thing too. You have to answer these questions when people come up, especially if they're good questions. Alright? But when you deal with certain part of the scriptures, it all concerns behavior. So you have to have the right behavior in this thing. You can't be all wild like a lion. You know, you're just ready to knock somebody's head off because you're having a bad day. And then you're gonna bring that kind of spirit to the camp. Because if you're gonna bring that kind of spirit to the camp, you're gonna find yourself in trouble. Okay? You might do something silly, and guess what? The police come around and they beat you upside the head, beat you to a bloody pulp, because they can do that, and then shove your ass in the bully van, and then you're gonna regret what you did. Because I've seen it happen so many times, man. Like, you know, especially if you're dealing with niggas all the time. You know, the nigga that always rise up and act all tough to show what he got. He's the same dude that's getting beat to a bloody pulp by them cops. Take his ass to court, and then he's in jail getting emasculated by the Met. Okay? It's the scripture show you how to be a man, and the way that a true man of the Lord shows discipline. Okay, not like these jokers out here, because that's Esau's spirit. Esau's the kind of man that acts, out of his way to prove a point. All right, but you got our people, they got that mentality. Wow. They got a sense of pride, and they got to show something. You ain't got to show a damn thing. Just keep yourself calm and cool and collected, and then the Lord will deal with you. All right, you'll get your vengeance in due time. Just wait. All right, because these devils, they gotta fulfill their time. This is their time to rule. This is their time to be who they are, and to fulfill their wickedness, man. All right, go on, brother. You got a precept. Matter of fact, continue on with you. Continue. Read that verse again that you just read there.
No, it's in the
Okay. Yeah, you got some, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
And that's just, you're going, brother. You got it.
Colossians 4 verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how ye ought to answer every man.
And that's what it means to be out to teach, meaning to use skill. So let's say if a guy says something, you can stop you can stop him right there, right? You can interject and cut what he just said. And then eventually, if you keep doing that, he's gonna get to walking down the street. Because then he's gonna realize, man, I can't deal with these guys. Either you might have an Edomite come up and say, not say, but he might hit this mentality that he's coming up to just deal with a couple of Negroes as he perceives in his own mind. And then we use the scriptures against him and cut everything he's saying. Now he gotta get to walking down the street, and then he gotta think, well, damn, they outsmarted me. Yo, so that's how you gotta be. You have to be skillful. You have to be technical in this thing. It's not about just cursing people out and calling people out of their name. It's more to it than that. And really, and the root of this truth is to examine yourself.
Woo, yeah. The
That's
mold.
really the thing right there. You know, if you want to go deeper, you gotta look within yourself to see what you do. All right, because you could be cursing somebody out, but the Lord can destroy you too. Hey, man, it goes both ways. You know, and we all of us gotta do that. All of us gotta do that, man. You know what I mean? We got to examine ourselves, man. We can bring that out as well. That's in Corinthians. Let me see something real quick. Oh, you know what? Somebody get Proverbs 26 and 2. Yeah, get 26 and 2. And then also you can also get Matthew 7 as well. It tells you that as well.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 2.
Yeah.
As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse.
No, 26, brother. 26 and 2. Proverbs 26 and 2.
Yeah, this is Proverbs 26. Proverbs 26 and 2, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm at.
It don't sound like it, brother. Oh, Psalms, my bad. Psalms 26 and 2, my bad.
Psalms chapter 26, verse 2. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving,
Go on.
for thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth.
Right. So the Lord, the only way that you know that the Lord is dealing with you is if he proves you. The way that he proves you is when you go through hell. When you go